On Outback Truckers, Sludge takes on foreign roads.
If you make a cock up, you disappear over the side of a cliff.
And strange loads in the land of the Kiwi.
Oh, you have indicators in New Zealand.
Turbo's new truck gets busted.
I've split the bottom of the fucking radiator.
And bashed on a tour of destruction.
The trailer would have come up off the ground.
And Carl Andrews
You're in for one hell of a ride.
has more wheels, more weight, and more worry
So steep.
than one trucker can take. At a remote cattle station on the Queensland Northern Territory border, Turbo's truck is crippled.
The actual hub itself, is cracked.
Crucial lubricating oil is bleeding out of his front wheel hub.
Well, there was no friggin' oil left. There's a friggin' crack right there and there.
If he keeps driving, the wheel will destroy itself.
What's going to happen is the bearings aren't going to be lubricated, they're going to overheat and then explode.
After leaving Brisbane 2 days ago, Turbo's midway through an epic 4,000-kilometre dogleg to Alice Springs and then on to Darwin. Bad weather
The 50, 70 k/h winds.
and bad luck
It can actually sink through the ground.
have dogged Turbo from the start, putting him way behind schedule.
So that's cost me 3 hours of travel time.
To peg back time, Turbo's taking the most direct route to Alice, along the Plenty Highway, a notoriously rough bush track. And so far, the Plenty has lived up to its name, giving Turbo plenty of grief.
The very two back pallets, because they're shifting around. Imagine getting a truckload of fat and trying to strap it down. It's just going to go whoop, all over the place like Flab of the Heart.
Now, with some welcome help from the station manager, Turbo's trying to fix his latest drama, the cracked wheel hub.
Oh, yeah, that's totally isn't it?
Plastic, steel, fixes everything.
Let it sit and dry. Takes an hour or so to set rock hard.
To work, the repair will need to be perfectly watertight.
Put the seal on either side of the actual hub seal.
Now to replace the lost oil.
It's a bush repair, but do what I can do to get myself going again. And that's it, it's done. Time to get the hell out of here.
Back on the road, and Turbo's hub is soon just a minor worry. A major worry has taken its place.
There is some bull dust holes along here.
Potholes filled with fine dust are hidden along the road. They're deep
Probably 12 inches thick of bull dust.
and they're dangerous.
Oh, just bogging right down now.
Hit a big one and Turbo could roll his truck.
Jesus. That side of the trailer would have come up off the ground.
Turbo's worried that his load has shifted. But he wasn't expecting this mess.
You've got to be f***ing kidding.
For f***'s sake.
North of Sydney, in the port of Newcastle, it's the wettest January day in recorded history. Over 200 millimetres of rain have turned streets into rivers. Only the foolish, the brave, and the committed are still on the road. Heavy haulage expert Carl Andrews is carefully making his way to the port.
There's nearly 3 foot of water for the next 4 kilometres down here.
Come hell or high water, Carl and his team have got a mammoth job ahead of them.
Everything's slow in the wet. It's a lot more dangerous to climb things, a lot more dangerous with steel and water.
They need to move a $5 million electrical transformer weighing 240 tonnes.
All right, bring it back, Justin.
From port to power station.
Right down, all the way.
From Newcastle, the convoy will head 480 kilometres inland to the Mount Piper facility near the Blue Mountains. It's a punishing uphill run, starting at sea level and ending nearly a kilometre above it. Providing the grunt and grip for this epic hill climb, a mega 6-truck road train, longer than 2 Airbus A380s.
The good thing about it is when you know when something's going wrong, it's usually loud.
This 5-metre high load needs to fit under bridges and power lines.
They're high, so you've got to cart them in a set of beams.
It's suspended on steel beams, just 30 centimetres off the ground.
Don't want to jack it up too high because it makes it top heavy and makes it very hard to tilt and keep stable.
The gigantic setup is finally locked and loaded. But Carl's team can't head off until nightfall, when the roads are quieter.
Normally go out of the cities in the night time, so we're clear of a lot of the traffic.
Carl and his police escorts are still worried about the floodwaters.
If we start to have trouble, then they're liable to pull the pin on us.
Midnight, and the team is hoping the water levels have dropped enough for a safe crossing.
We're just getting all the trucks hooked up.
6 prime movers and 4,000 horsepower will haul the transformer to its new home. Mickey Barry, originally from Ireland, is the eyes of this colossal road train.
As the lead driver, just have to go in the right place on the road and make sure that the trailer doesn't drag or none of the wheels catch on the chassis of the trailer.
One wrong call and the delicate circuitry of the transformer could pay the price.
We can't bump it, we can't shake it, we can't hurt it in any way whatsoever. It's very fragile inside.
Carl's in the hot seat, steering 2 30-metre trailers from the middle of the rig.
We all in up there?
We're on the move now.
Barely out of the port, and the convoy hits its first hurdle.
It was up pretty high there at the moment.
A washout, right in their path. Electricity and water don't mix.
You don't want to be going too hard through it. It could rip shit off the trailer or burst water inside the transformer.
Take in moisture, and they could have a $5 million short circuit on their hands. For the last 2 decades, New Zealander Sludge has called Australia home.
So they take half your brain out, you become an Aussie.
Hauling fuel on marathon desert runs.
George has been in a dusty shithole. You got a lot of trucking. Now he's just gone to
But for his next job, Sludge is trading red dust for much greener pastures in New Zealand. He may be born and bred here, but trucking in this land
Holy look at that.
is a far cry from what he's used to.
Straight down to the rocks.
In Australia, Sludge is getting ready for the job ahead.
I've got a mate wants a bit of a hand with some trucks over there. So I'm going to just go over and give him a hand. I don't know what he's got in store for me yet, so it'll be interesting to see. Here we go. I think we're ready to go.
Sludge will have to be right on his game. His New Zealand driving smarts are a bit rusty.
20 plus years ago since I've driven a truck over there, so it's a long while.
He knows he'll be in for some tough trucking.
A lot of mountainous roads and steep terrain, and if you make a cock up, you disappear over the side of a cliff.
Before Sludge can get to work, he's got a 6,500 kilometre commute. From Perth, Sludge is flying to Queenstown in New Zealand's South Island. From there, he'll head south to Wendonside.
And we're on our way.
Next stop, Switzer's transport company, owned by his old schoolmate, Hoggett.
And he's obviously down a couple of drivers or something, and asked me if I wanted to do a few days' work.
Good to see you, big fella. What's happening?
Oh, cruising along, you know. So you're busy enough then?
Just too busy. I think I need to put you to work.
Yeah.
Hoggett's trucking company hauls everything from hay to heifers, all very different to carting fuel.
The pressure's on us this week. We're very busy. I need Sludge to give me a hand.
Jeez! How are you, mate?
Good, yeah. You want to show Sludge the... there and around?
First up, a refresher course.
What's this one here?
Indicators.
Oh, you have indicators in New Zealand?
Yeah, you got to.
Sludge might think he's got it covered,
Oh, we'll see how he goes tomorrow.
but for the jobs coming up, this 6'6" tanker driver will be right out of his comfort zone. On a shortcut through the desert, Turbo's losing his load, his time, and his temper.
For f***'s sake.
The rough road has smashed his freight of fertiliser, leaving a trail of destruction for hundreds of metres.
Basically, I've got to unload them off the truck, put them on the ground, and restack them all up again.
It's the hottest part of the day, at the hottest time of the year. And Turbo's 120 kilometres from hell.
Heap of It's not f***ing fun. Friggin' 50 or 60 degree heat out there right now.
Each bag weighs 20 kilos.
There's probably 100 bags of pellet.
Turbo needs a new location for the 2 pallets of fertiliser.
The only way I'm going to be able to have any control over them is to put them between those pallets and the blade on the bulldozer.
He's still got a ton of work ahead of him.
I run a chance of dehydration, heat stroke and sunstroke. At this point, it can become fatal to life.
After 3 hours of back-breaking work, the restack is finished, and so is Turbo.
Say 2.5, 3 tonne, I'm physically shifting. Probably 60 or 70 degree heat outside in the sun, and it physically and mentally drains you.
But with 350 kilometres of rough dirt track ahead,
Because I am on one of the hardest roads in the country, it's 10 times harder.
this road and Turbo's workload are far from over. At Newcastle Port, Mickey Barry is leading a 150-metre long road train into floodwaters.
We don't want to be going too hard through it.
On board, a $5 million electrical transformer. If water gets inside, it could cause a massive malfunction
Do a bit of a manoeuvre here.
and a massive damage bill for boss Carl Andrews.
Yeah, just work the back across. You can just grab it as you go forward again.
Yeah, all clear on the transformer.
It's gone down a couple of foot since yesterday.
At last, they can drag the transformer away from the floodwaters and climb up to top speed.
Pick it back up till about the 30 mark.
For the next 12 hours, the convoy will creep through the city and into the foothills. As morning breaks, the team need to rest. It will be another 24 hours before they can hit the road again.
Parking up for the day.
Next day, and the next leg promises to be an even bigger challenge. Ahead, it's a roller coaster ride of steep hills and valleys.
We're ready to go.
From a van, Carl will guide the convoy through the most difficult sections.
Well, this morning we'll head up through the hills and get up to the Castleway Highway.
Nightmare terrain for a giant electrical transformer.
Carrying something 300 mil off the ground. Some of these roads have got big humps in them up here. Got a steep hill here.
With such a heavy load, keeping traction on the climb is vital.
I'm glad I got 6 trucks on it.
Just ease her back a little bit. I'm raving too hard here. I'm doing nothing.
And now some disturbing news.
There's smoke up this side, Cal, on the left-hand side, mate.
Yeah, I'll have a look. They got a lot of smoke.
Carl needs to track down the cause.
Bottom of the transformer, back of the trailer or something hit the ground.
It could be burning rubber from a $200 tyre or a $5 million transformer scraping on the ground. In the South Island of New Zealand, Outback trucker Sludge is being given his first trucking mission.
Just go past and you'll see the bales in the paddock. You just veer off the lane to the right.
Oh, yeah.
He has to round up 40 hay bales and deliver them to a local farmer.
Load of hay just to get into the swing of it.
Sounds simple enough. But Sludge has never carted hay, and his mate wants it done in just a few hours.
Obviously it's all go over here, and that's why he's asked me to come and give him a hand.
Adding to the pressure, wet weather is forecast. If the hay gets wet, it'll be ruined.
Because if it rains and they put it in the shed, it just goes mouldy.
At the paddock, the size of the job starts to hit home. The bales are spread over a square kilometre. The other trucker, Cheese, is nearly loaded.
Not a bad load.
But Sludge has got a mountain of work to do.
I'll start loading up while he's doing his load.
It's about as different to trucking fuel as it gets.
Probably there's my wages gone for the day.
This bale is beyond repair. Sludge needs to get his stack secured before the other bales go the same way.
Oh, not used to this. I don't have these on fuel tankers, Cheese. And I don't miss them either. I might break a nail, us fuel truck drivers.
Sludge and Cheese are now ready to roll. But there's just one problem. Cheese's truck won't start.
They're not even firing.
The timing couldn't be worse. Predicted rain is closing in.
Got diesel in it?
Yeah, full.
If the bales get damp, they'll start to rot, and Sludge will have flunked his first New Zealand road test.
Yeah, it's good to get into Alice.
After taking a beating from the Plenty Highway, Turbo's made it to his first drop-off in Alice Springs.
I've got a couple of overexcited customers. They're glad I'm here.
Finally, he can offload the fertiliser, which has given him so much grief.
I've already told the customer that the pallets collapsed on me. When you want to drive 800 kilometres in dirt, it's just one of the things that happens. Those ones there, straight in front of the blade of yours. Yeah, as you see how much it collapsed.
All right.
A few bags down, but the school's gardeners are happy to get their delivery. And Turbo's happy to see it gone.
too easy. All right, guys.
Happy trails.
Yeah.
Next cab off the rank, the bulldozer. But this is no ordinary offload.
To get into the next drop-off point, I've had to go through and get security clearance, a level 1 security clearance.
Turbo's next customer is a strategic defence facility.
All I know is it is a top secret sort of place.
And for reasons of national security, only Turbo can continue beyond this point. Operation complete, and Turbo hits the long road north.
We're on our way out of Alice Springs now to Darwin. Just a little jog up the road, 1,500 k's up the road.
That's a long way to go with a patched up wheel hub. Turbo wants to check his repair job is holding up. There's no leaking oil, but there's something else leaking.
Looks like I've split the bottom of the f***ing radiator.
A badly leaking radiator could be the hammer blow for Turbo's truck and this repair-riddled journey.
It did smell like flint, yeah.
Carl Andrews is worried that a burning smell is coming from his $5 million transformer scraping on the road.
Yeah, they're going to have to lift that transformer up and I think it was the tyres.
His suspicions are confirmed.
It was a transformer. We just scraped a little bit on one of them pinches on that hill there, just making sure it didn't move.
If the transformer's shifted, the circuitry inside could have been damaged. Carl's in luck. It hasn't budged.
We'll make a move again, we'll keep going, we've got a lot more hills yet.
The 150-metre-long convoy is now approaching the biggest town along its route,
Probably some of our worst turns on the job.
with an enormous turning circle and 5 metres high.
Every corner you get to is going to have issues.
Obstacles lie in wait everywhere.
Yeah, round to the right here, mate. Might have to lift the transformer up. We'll see how we go under this power line first.
To avoid a power line, the hydraulic trailer is kept low. But that's causing other problems.
Real steady, mate.
It's on a collision course with a metal guardrail.
Hold it there for a sec. Just brakes on the front truck.
The transformer is sandwiched between trouble overhead and on the ground. In New Zealand, Sludge's rush to move a truckload of hay away from bad weather has stalled.
They're not even firing.
The air start system on Cheese's truck has sprung a leak.
I can get some more air in it, and once we build her up with air again, we'll give her another go.
Sludge hopes pumping air between the two trucks will breathe life back into the starter motor. The moment of truth.
Only just.
With the truck revived,
Right, we're out of here.
Sludge needs to get moving.
Forecast thunderstorms here this afternoon. They're starting to roll in over the hills now.
But going fast on these roads isn't an option.
They're a bit different roads than we have at home. Yep, they're not that wide, these roads. Not much spare room.
Now an uneven road
Whoa!
slows him down even more. The hay bales are getting a shake-up, and Sludge is getting worried.
Now we get down the road here and we stop and check that one we just put on the arse that's not looking very good.
Rain clouds are fast approaching. Sludge needs to sort this out quickly.
gonna be it. Let's hope he stays. He doesn't look too good. Yeah, it's coming in over the hill now, though. If they get thunderstorms, they don't want to have it here.
Driving headlong into the storm, it's make or break for Sludge. On a problem-plagued run through Central Australia, Turbo is reeling from yet another mechanical crisis.
Piece of water and coolant out.
His radiator has a serious leak. If he keeps driving, the engine will overheat and seize up.
See if I can slow it down a bit. Get in Darwin, it's got to be fixed. Probably replaced.
Drive even a few hundred metres and he could kill his truck. To fix this one, Turbo's on foot.
Nothing like walkabout.
With an unusual bush repair in mind. First on the shopping list, radiator stop leak.
And some chemi weld.
Second, farm fresh eggs.
Now I'll go and play and put this in and put my eggs in my radiator.
Eggs in the radiator, eh?
Hey.
Got some bacon there if you want it.
Now I'm going to put a couple of eggs in to the radiator.
It might look like Turbo's cracked it, but this strange brew is a known emergency repair. If his recipe works, the eggs should cook inside the radiator, then get sucked into the leak, plugging it.
It's a bush repair to get me going. All I can do is just keep an eye on it.
An hour later, his water pressure and temperature gauges are holding steady at safe levels. After 300 kilometres of driving on eggshells, Turbo's had enough.
Coming into where I'm going to call home for the night. A place called Three Ways. She's been an eventful day.
I'm going to go see me mates, have a feed with them, then I'm going to bed.
Next day, and Turbo's looking to put his bad luck behind him and push on to Darwin. But this nightmare is far from over.
I got 2 screwed up tyres. That isn't what I want to find this morning.
Turbo's new truck is accumulating a depressing list of mechanical faults.
Been a shit-house trip.
Adding to his woes, an old wound has opened back up. All he can do is try more stop leak. If he can get the radiator cap off. In country New South Wales, Carl Andrews and his team
Come up a bit with the front trailer as well, I think.
are trying to inch the monster 240-tonne transformer between a metal barrier and overhead power lines. The hydraulic trailer is raised.
Keep going up with it. Righto, creep it forward. You want to start coming around too, Chris?
The heavyweight Convoy is on the move again.
Just have to keep an eye on that sign, Blink. Yeah, we're clear of it. Keep your right, Chris.
one last tree-lined corner.
Give me a little bit of left tilt, mate, just a little bit. Start to chase him around a little bit, Chris. There, you come into the corner. Tilt it to the right a bit more if you can, mate.
The tree branches are no match for the steel beams. But they've got the edge on this rubber hose.
Oh, I got a f***ing wire catcher on bloody branches up there.
They've snagged the trailer's airline. If it's damaged, the trailer's brakes will lock and ground the convoy.
Oh, I'll have to get it down, mate. It's up too high, it's going to get there.
It's up to Carl to fix it. To get to the hose, he needs to scale the awkward 5-metre high steel beams. Sludge is racing the rain to deliver a load of hay worth thousands of dollars.
Because they reckon the weather's going to come in
If it gets wet, it'll be ruined.
and get it in the sheds before it rains. Bless me, Father, I think we've made it. Rightio. Don't miss this shit. Rolling straps up. Don't have this with fuel tankers. We're out of here.
Safely undercover and just in the nick of time.
Thank Christ we got the hay done because that's worked out really, really well.
But Sludge's day is far from over.
Aye, right.
His mate Hoggett's hatched another plan.
There's a load of deer come up now. We've been rained off. Another load and another truck.
Sludge will be moving a herd of deer to a farm 70 kilometres away.
They're wild bastards, so it'll be interesting to see.
Jumping well over 2 metres, they're fast, frisky and very feisty.
They kick and boot, and you've got to be just on the go all the time with them.
And the hooves really start to fly at loading. To safely board 280 passengers, the truck must be hard up against the ramp.
They're going to come round here.
Now the hard part. Convincing the herd to get onto his truck.
Come on, girls. Come on. You've got to be quick with them. When you're not, they hurt. Come on. Hup. Come on.
It's been 20 years since Sludge did this sort of work. He hasn't missed it for a second.
Now I know why I gave up carton stock. Liquid never stopped.
It's dirty, back-breaking work.
I wish I wasn't 6'6". I'll give you the tip.
Let's put one more pan and then we'll have to get him out of there.
Rightio.
What's your head? I don't have that problem. Can't let us get that one out there though.
Come on. Come on. Get up, you bastard.
2 animals are trapped between the ramp and the truck.
Come
here.
They're at risk of getting crushed. Sludge needs to get them free quickly. Trying to fix a badly leaking radiator, Turbo has narrowly dodged 3rd-degree burns.
Took the cap off, erupted Mount Everest, and then the leak in the radiator stopped.
With 900 kilometres still left in his marathon journey, he needs his radiator to hold together for one more day. But that's just the start of Turbo's stress.
I'm going to blow a tyre out today, and of course my jack's screwed up. I got to replace it. Replace the jack.
Until Turbo makes it to Darwin for some serious repairs, he can't relax.
It's a new day, new dramas today. Deal with them as they come.
more bad news.
The tyre's gone already, has it?
Oh, it's started, all right.
Turbo's problem tyre has blown out.
Didn't feel it, didn't even hear it. All I can do is pull up and just check it. Deal with it in Darwin. Hasn't actually disintegrated. So there's not much I can do with it.
With his truck on life support, Turbo can't afford any more mechanical mishaps.
It's a shit of a run. Looking forward to getting into Darwin.
His customers are expecting their freight this afternoon, but daylight's fading and Turbo's still 100 kilometres away.
I'm stressing over just having so many delays.
At last, Darwin. He's at the yard.
I can't see any movement whatsoever.
But it's too late.
Come back here at 7 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. All right, mate, are you right to do this unload now? Yeah.
Turbo may be 12 hours late, but finally he can put one of his worst runs behind him. For 4,000 kilometres, he's battled problem weather.
The rain's actually coming down and just sheets.
Problem roads.
Jesus.
And his own problem truck. But he's made it.
I get hurdles put in front of me and I'll jump them. It's not for the faint-hearted. It takes a certain breed to come out and do this job.
How was the trip all up?
Honestly or lyingly?
Say it as it is.
It was f***ing shit. But we're here. Yeah!
That hurt.
Carl Andrews is trying to climb the 5-metre high transformer to fix a problem. He's hurting. But if he doesn't release the snagged air hose, the convoy is stalled. Airline back in place. The convoy can finally head out of town. Carl is still suffering from his fall.
Very sore.
He's torn a knee tendon, but he can't rest up. He needs to guide the transformer over one last hill.
Stiff as buggery.
Keep at that speed, that suit you, Blinky, and
But you got a bit of loose stuff right
On the centre line, just as you get to the top.
we stop, we could be in trouble. It wouldn't get going again. We'd have to probably go back down to the bottom and start again. There's the power station you can see in the distance.
We can go up the hills at 20, but we've got to go down the hills at about 5.
Yeah, that's it. Reached the end of the journey now.
But this job isn't done yet.
Fence was supposed to be gone. It's not.
Getting around the fence will make the last turn of this run the tightest. The 150-metre rig is forced to back up
You're going to have to give it everything it's got.
and have another go.
Come around at the front.
That is awesome, fellas. Great work.
They're in. Carl has dragged the monster load 480 k's from port to power station.
Somewhere there will do perfect.
Now, the transformer can help supply electricity to over 1 million homes. And this oversized load veteran can finally power down.
I'm happy.
In the soggy South Island of New Zealand, Sludge's deer run has hit a major hurdle.
Come here. Jock! Come here.
2 of the deer are trapped between the ramp and the truck.
Come back here. Come on. Just the ramp here slid out. Oh, to lift it up.
Yeah.
The fallen ramp needs to be raised.
We're going to have to pull forward to get it out a bit. Right. That's better. Perfect.
At last, Sludge can finish loading. Every one of his unruly passengers has made it safely on board.
All right. That was a bit of fun. It's been a long time since I've dealt with deer, so could have done it on a nicer day, though. Yeah. Right, let's go and see how we're going. Not a very nice day to be doing it.
His 2-story trailers are top-heavy and constantly shifting. With a 9-ton unstable load, rollovers are a real threat.
Whoa!
Made worse by wet roads.
It's slippery on the other side coming down around that corner. The trailer started to slide around a bit.
He's done it. The deer have reached their destination.
Go and have some more fun with some more deer.
It's been a long and dirty 12 hours, but Sludge has delivered the goods twice in one day.
Job done.
Not bad for a tanker driver, a long way from home.